shocking development today. There are several good news items, and they are brought to you by rich people. Wait, what? What just happened? Okay, this is unbelievable. So there's two of them. One of them involves Blackstone and Las Vegas and casinos doing the right thing. Unheard of. Okay, we'll get to that next. First one's in California. There's something called the Living Wage Act. They're trying to get a ballot measure to move California. It's already a $15 minimum wage. They're like, it's way too low. We're gonna move it to $18. Okay, you know how popular that is? Intensely popular. If it just gets on the ballot, it's almost certainly gonna pass. Well, here's your first piece of good news. It got on the ballot. But wait a minute, getting on the ballot, you need like 1 million signatures. It is so hard, so expensive. How the hell did that happen? Well, it happened because one guy decided, nah, I'm just gonna do it. The Democrats aren't doing it, nobody's doing it, nobody's looking out for the workers. So the guy in this case is Joe Sandberg. And you might have heard him before, he's been on the show before. He gives these unbelievable amounts from time to time. Why? He's like, I don't know, somebody should help people. And Joe grew up poor. He explained that on the show, and his house was foreclosed on. So he's like, no, I'm just gonna pay it back. Okay, so what did he do in this case? You know how many people are gonna get a raise? In California, if this ballot measure passes, and now that it's on the ballot, like I said, its chance of passing is incredibly high. So this raise is coming your way if you live in California. Oh, by the way, all the right-wingers who moved out of California, yeah, that's California, it doesn't do anything for its citizens. 5 million workers are gonna get a raise of about $6,420. That's every year. That's every year, okay? Now, I said it was expensive. I looked it up. I went to Ballotpedia and looked it up. You know how much they had to spend to get the signatures? $10.88 million. And then I looked to see who funded it. I already knew that Sandberg was involved. We already covered that story. Turns out he put in 99.98% of the money. Okay, so pretty much 100%. The dude put in $11 million so you guys can get a raise. Okay, that's Joe right there. Joe Sandberg. He's, by the way, also the founder of Aspiration. That's a sponsor of ours. And bless their hearts. He runs a progressive company, and the proof is in the pudding. Now let me tell you, total benefit to California workers every year. That's a stunning number. $32 billion. $32 billion every year. So now the Republicans and the right wing will cry and scream, that's wealth redistribution. You took it from the richest executives and you gave it to the average worker. You're goddamn right he did, okay? And in this case, it literally is he. Now you guys gotta vote on it. So if you're in California, make sure you vote yes, because that's a over $6,000 raise. And so, by the way, when they moved it to $15 in California, all the right wingers are like, oh, that's California's gonna be bankrupt. Totally bankrupt, can't afford it. Today they announced a $100 billion surplus. Okay, California is entirely unbankrupt. The $15 minimum wage did not move Silicon Valley or Hollywood or any of the major industries out of California. It was always a lie, okay? So now, that's gigantic, that's amazing, that's wonderful. Now the next story might be even more surprising. Cosmopolitan Casino in Vegas, if you've been there, you know it. It's one of the larger casinos. So they did really well even after the pandemic. During the pandemic, they survived. Afterwards, they did great, okay? So that's normal. Everybody's flooding back to Vegas. Them doing really well is normal. But you know what they decided to do? Their CEO, presumably other executives as well, decided, you know what? We're gonna give every employee at the company a $5,000 bonus.
Jeez.
So the servers, the dealers, the cleaning ladies, everybody gets a $5,000 bonus. Okay, so that's, again, we never get good news. It's unbelievable that there's good news. So we did the math on it. They have 5,400 employees, times 5,000, comes out to $27 million. You know what? I'm gonna show you that as a percentage of their profits in a second, and you're gonna see, it's actually not that big a deal. I'll give them all the credit in the world, but hold on. So the CEO, by the way, is Bill McBeath. He comes from Blackstone. Blackstone now has sold it to MGM, and they made a great profit. But as long as you're good to your employees, make a great profit. Awesome, great, right? And doesn't it suck that most of the rich people in the country spend the money to make more money at our expense? It only takes a couple of people to show it's actually fairly easy and doesn't cost them that much to do the right thing. So first of all, let me quote one of the workers. No, I'm sorry, the chief people officer, that's one of the executives, Daniel Espino at Cosmopolitan said, it's you every single day that makes a difference, whether you clean the rooms, cook the food, are dealing the cards, serving drinks at the front desk. And so that is them actually acknowledging the workers. See, it wasn't that hard. By the way, the workers are ecstatic. They're like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? This is amazing, right? So I looked up their profits. Pre-COVID, the 12 months period before that, they made $316 million. I also looked up their quarterly profits that is closer to today. And so we don't have the final numbers in the last year, but it looks like based on the quarterly profits, they make around $400 million. That's in profit, okay? That's not revenue, that's profit. So I did the math on that. Now this is an estimate on the 400 million because we don't have the hard numbers. But 27 million of 400 is 6.75% of their profits. So call it 7%. So with 7% of their profits, they were able to make all of their workers ecstatic. And now everybody wants to work at Cosmopolitan. It's good for business and it's good for the employees.
I sent my resume.
Okay, John, go ahead. Your thoughts?
No, it's awesome. I mean, I almost I like that they're doing it as sort of a knee-jerk thing. When I see that it's less than 7%, I think, couldn't they have done 10? I don't know. I get it. It's a knee-jerk need. It's probably not necessary. I instantly wonder, like the oil companies, as incredibly profitable as they are, how they can afford to do that. They're doing the opposite. You know, we were showing you last week them cracking down on strikes in California and all that. This is exactly the sort of thing that you should do, and that some corporations do. There are corporations that people love to work at, and it's not complicated. Treat people with dignity, pay them for what they do for you, and they will be loyal. Most corporations don't care. They're there to wring blood out of their employees. That's effectively it. And so glad to see them doing this. With Joe Sandberg, on the surface, I think it sounds good, but I don't know. I don't think that he's particularly good at being rich. Like, couldn't he have bought Twitter or something? He's trying to like raise people's wages. You could have bought Napster or MySpace or something, you idiot.
By the way, he also did California income tax credit, and that got California working poor $2 billion as well. So he just keeps wasting all of his money on helping other people.
Yeah, I don't think he's that
smart. I'm sure the other rich people are like, what are you doing, Joe? And actually that does bother them because it's embarrassing when people find out. Rich people could actually help a lot. Go ahead, Jessica.
Yeah, your move, Elon Musk. And for the casinos, I mean, kind of crazy that casinos in Las Vegas are doing more for people than the casino known as Wall Street. Not actually that surprising, not actually that crazy. But I think two things, like, yeah, it's the right thing to do to share your profits with your workers. They're responsible for your success. It's the right thing to do. But I will also say there's a lot of power in labor right now. And there's a lot of additional pressure for corporations and businesses to do the right thing, because the same union that represents these guys just won a really big case with another casino. So it could be the type of situation. It is good, like the net benefit is good, but it could be, let's keep our workers happy before we renegotiate this contract.
Sure. So I'm going to end on two things here. First of all, I want to show Bill McBeath, because we beat up on the bad guys all the time. But hey, when you do something positive, wonderful. So that's the good guy in this case. Now, I don't want to look up his other records. I don't know what else he's done, but in this one, and I don't care that it's 7%. I know these days we're happy with the crumbs, but we'll take it because nobody else is doing it. So give him tremendous credit for that, even if it might be labor putting pressure on. Which, by the way, yes, continue to put pressure on. So do both, do both. Finally, you know how the Democrats always say, oh well, higher wages. They stated it at the national level just now. $15 minimum wage. There was nothing we could do. There's nothing we could do. Well, it turns out there was something that they could do. They just didn't want to do it.
Yep.
For an individual, $11 million is a ton of money. For the Democratic Party, it's nothing. Why didn't they do it in California?
It's a good idea.
That's because they serve their corporate donors, and the corporate donors didn't want it.
Yeah.
So sad day for them. Joe Sandberg's here, and he's like, you're gonna get it anyway. Isn't that amazing what kind of a difference it can make? Please, other wealthy folks, copy these guys. You could be a hero. Don't you want to be a hero instead of constantly being the bad guy? And it doesn't take that much. So bless them. And I'm thrilled to finally have good news. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.